This is KUTX at Home. I'm Jody Denberg at home and at home with Ameila Meath from Sylvan Esso. And you do look cozy and at home. Are you at home in North Carolina?
I am indeed. And it's starting to actually feel like fall here, which is really exciting.
I'd imagine it's beautiful. Um, Congratulations. Your album, Free Love, is out. I should tell everyone it's the third album from Sylvan Esso, which is Ameila and Nick Sanborn. And the duo has visited KUTX in our studios, was in Austin for South by in 2017, here for ACL Fest in 2018. And after all of this time putting this record together, doing the videos, getting ready, what's it like to foist the record upon the world?
It feels really wonderful. It's been a totally different job this time around. So um, it feels like a relief in some ways because we don't have to be such a small, like we're like a two-person media company now. And I'm really excited to just get to like give people the music and have them be able to start living with it instead of just constantly being like, just wait, you're gonna love it, you know? So that feels really, really good. I'm just so grateful to be able to hand it to the world and be like, it is yours now, go.
Well, you made a statement about the record, which you made so you didn't have to answer questions about it specifically, but I'll ask you just to expand upon it a little bit because it's very articulate what you said. It's a record about being increasingly terrified of the world around you and looking inward to remember all the times when loving other people seems so easy so that you can find your way back to that place. Is this a statement that was brought on by working during the pandemic, or is it broader than that?
You know, we finished the record before the pandemic began. We were just mixing at the beginning of March. Um, but even I think that the record is very, very applicable to right now, more so than it's like almost eerily applicable in that way. And you'll remember that the world felt terrifying even before we were in the midst of a global pandemic. So yeah, yeah, I'm really grateful to be able to give a break or like an emotional outlet to people who want to listen to the record now.
One of my favorite things about your music, Sylvan Esso's music, is this balance between the electronic and then the warmth of the humanity. And it would be easy to make the assumption, well, Ameila is singing, so she's giving us the warmth, and Nick is doing this electronic stuff, and he's providing that. But I'd imagine the songwriting for Sylvan Esso has evolved since the debut in 2014 and 2017's What Now? How has it evolved?
It's as if Nick and I have figured out it's like we've been writing an alphabet together for this whole time and for the past two records, and now we're both completely fluent in the language of our collaboration. So at first, what did actually look like me writing lyrics and melody and Nick making beats is now like we are both so more involved in each other's realm. We're working on things like Nick and I are side by side. I like that I've been producing the songs for this whole time, but I haven't really been like giving myself that credit or recognizing that work as production. Um, which I'm mostly honestly Meryl from Tune Yards kind of pointed it out to me last year. It was like, you're a producer, and I was like, oh yeah, I have been doing that. It just never occurred to me. I was always so much more concerned with making the songs excellent and less concerned with titles. But I suppose I should take it.
Yes, definitely. I'm with Meryl. Ameila, Sylvan Esso, I mean, it's just you and Nick. So when you two guys are working so closely together, that's got to be intense when it's just a duo. It's not a trio. It's not a quartet. Uh, how do you keep things cool when you have the creative tension that comes with making art?
You know what? Nick and I are just really, really good at fighting with the ability to be fighting about exactly what we are. Like we're able to like immediately address the situation. Every time we fight, we're both very invested in mutually coming to a shared agreement. So even if that's like, if it's me being like, I think that bass part sounds bad because it's pushing the song in a different energetic place, like Nick will argue his point until one of us actually convinces the other. So it's like you have to really embrace the tension in some ways, but I'm so grateful for it because I think that is what has led to the Sylvan Esso sound. It's something that it's born of friction.
Well, the first single that we've heard from the album, Ferris Wheel, what a perfect summer song. I mean, when you wrote it, I don't know if you realized we'd all be hearing it in August, but when you were finished with the whole record, did you say, Ferris Wheel, that's got to be our introduction to the world for this album?
Yeah, I think we knew that that was going to be the most. Well, I wanted to. I wanted to start with a really fun song in general, and also since we knew that it was going to be landing in August, Ferris Wheel felt like we had to go with it. It even says that it's August in the song. I also just wanted to like, as we began realizing that we were going to be releasing this song in a pandemic, I realized that like I wanted to just really put the hard emphasis on joy for the first couple of songs that we released, just to be able to give people a small dance party.
And the video for Ferris Wheel is a dance party. I mean, so's the one for Frequency, but it's so much fun. How about those dance moves? Are you a trained dancer? Or you're just naturally adept at that?
Oh, thank you. I used to go, yeah, or I've been dancing for my whole life, mostly like in improv and modern dance when I was a kid. So like improvisation has definitely worked its way into the music that we make and the videos that we make, which I'm so grateful for.
And the album title, Free Love, multiple entendre on this end as the receiver of the album title. I'd imagine that's how you put it out there.
Indeed, that was the dream. Nick always knows what the title of the record is going to be, and I always know what the cover of the record is going to be. And after I'd written Free, Nick was like, oh, the record's called Free Love. That's what it is.
Did you envision it as like a vinyl record with two sides? Because I feel like there's a definite split between the first 5 and second 5 songs.
Nick and I are totally obsessed with the album format and think about it so much. Maybe it's because of the way that we write together, where we really love doing 10-song records in general. And I love the idea of having a break in the midst of a record. So the track listing and the way things flow has always been the way that we talk about the things that we make. Like every time we have a song, we talk about where it goes on the record, usually like right after we realize that it's going to make it.
What are the studios like where you record in North Carolina? Are they close to your home? Is it somewhere removed so that you actually have to go to the studio? What's that like?
Nick and I actually just got a studio together. It's like a 15-minute drive away from our house, and it's on 10 acres of land in Chapel Hill. So it's really wooded, and we designed the studio together so that it has a lot of light in it, which I'm so excited about. Of course, the studio itself was actually being built while we were writing this record, so there are a lot of like saws on the record. It's why you can hear like saws and drills in Rooftop Dancing. Mostly because like pretty much all my vocal takes have machinery in the background of them.
That makes sense somehow.
Mm-hmm.
I mentioned that this is Sylvan Esso's 3rd studio record, but in April, there was a live album that came out and a concert documentary for the shows that you did as With, W-I-T-H. And there was like a 10-piece band during these shows. You did just a string of shows. I think it was LA, New York, Nashville, Durham. So you go from this place where it's just the two of you, I'd imagine, for most times, and then you're playing with 10 people. What was that adjustment like? What was that project like with?
It was so we knew the reason why we decided to do it was because we knew we were going to have a full year to write Free Love. And we wanted to be able to just have a moment in that year for Sylvan Esso to shine so that we didn't go away for the whole time. And we've been talking about putting together a full band because we'd done like a little of it for What Now in something called the Echo Mountain Sessions. I couldn't have predicted how beautifully important and empowering doing With was going to be for Sylvan Esso, the band, in that because Nick and I are constantly we just share the band ourselves, so we've never gotten to share the culture of the band with anybody. So all of a sudden we transitioned from being like in our own little world into being band leaders of this like wild, expansive musical entity. Before, we'd been so scared that we could like crush the spirit of Sylvan Esso because it felt so delicate and that it was just Nick and I like passing the ball back and forth. And what With did was just truly like invigorate us and make us realize how robust and spirited Sylvan Esso actually is, and that it's an unbreakable thing. Like the songs that Nick and I write together are always going to be Sylvan Esso songs because Nick and I are there. And we can add or subtract members of the band as we see fit, which is really exciting.
That's beautiful. What a beautiful leap to make to do that from this self-contained duo to a 10-piece outfit. And I advise anyone to check out the With Live album. And there's a concert documentary as well. Talking with Ameila Meath of the band Sylvan Esso. Free Love is out. It's been freed. It's there for everyone to enjoy. We got a little taster though, because before Free Love came at the station we work at, KUTX, we were playing this song with local natives that you guys did, Dark Days. And you also did a collaboration with Real Estate. So once again, in the spirit of With, these collaborations, these ways to show the elasticity of Sylvan Esso.
Indeed. It was so nice to sing with Real Estate. Me and Alex Bleeker have been friends for a long, long time. He plays bass in that band. And I love those local natives guys.
Well, congratulations. One way people can connect with Sylvan Esso is by watching these really cool videos that they've made for some of the songs from the record. Frequency is the most recent one. Once again, Ameila, you're dancing, and you work with someone whose music that we also play on our station, Moses Sumney. We know him as a recording artist, especially from the current record, Gray, but he was the director and stylist for this Frequency video, right?
Indeed, he was. He has always made really beautiful videos, and we were so excited to remember that he was in Asheville because we've been trying to do these socially distanced videos for everyone, and realizing that we could just hop in the car and have a director that was as excellent as Moses was so exciting.
Well, great work. There's a lot of joy in that video, a lot of freedom. And that's one way people can connect with you now that this record's out. And of course, we're all in uncharted territory right now. What do you think now that Free Love's out? It's just you and Nick. Are there ways that you can reach people and get the record to them a little easier because you're a duo?
I think that it's definitely not time to tour yet, but we've been filling so much of our time with making different avenues into the record for people to see. It's in some ways I'm really grateful for the time because it's meant that we've been able to like fully reinvent what our live setup looks like, and we're just taking a lot of time making videos, talking to people about the record in ways that we've never had this much bandwidth before. So it's really good. I really miss touring, but also I keep on being reminded that we're so lucky to have fans that come out to see us regardless of whether or not we're on cycle. So I know that we're going to be able to tour this record just as much as we would be now if we could.
Well, Ameila, it's really nice talking to you. I look forward to seeing you the next time you're in Austin. Thank you and Nick for Free Love. And thank you for this conversation.
Thank you so much, Jody. I really appreciate it. And thanks to KUTX. We're so grateful to be played.
Thank you. Great music.
Thanks.
Hooray!
Hooray!
All right.